What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to part 25 of our Pokemon Unbreakable Ties walkthrough. As you can see, we've just reached the Floral Pass area, and there are some insane Pokemon to be caught in this region. You can find Ivysaur, Kangaskhan, and a whole bunch of other strong Pokemon. But we are unfortunately playing as Edward, and we are accompanied by Queen of Akebia Lena. So we are looking into Edward's past and the backstory of Edward and Lena in today's episode, which will be super interesting. This game is almost like an anime. There's so many twists and turns, and the storyline is really amazing. And here we've just encountered some wild Pokemon. It's an Ivysaur and a Lilligant. So like I was saying, this region is jam-packed with strong Pokemon. And I'm very curious to use some of Edward's team again. He's got really strong Pokemon in his team. If you missed part 24 of our playthrough, I recommend going back. The last episode was also jam-packed with so much stuff going on. We explored a lot of Lugano City. We even found the creator of the game, Samurai, and his whole team, which was in his basement. Don't ask about it, just go and watch the episode. And we also made it to our secret base where we are planning all our ways to try take down the royal family. So that's where the video ended. We made our way to our secret little room, which is in Lugano Casino. And that's where we're all discussing the past of what happened and how we can try and stop the royal family from all their evil plans. So that's where we are continuing today. We've kind of gone back in time, playing as Edward and Lena and finding out more about them before we continue and try and stop the royal family. I also know that Edward has the legendary Pokemon Raikou, so I am interested to see if we find out how he actually got this legendary Pokemon. That will be cool to see. But now we're just going to keep exploring the Floral Pass. There are a ton of people to battle here, and also quite a few items for us to pick up. This place is almost like a maze, so you really have to try remember where you have been when walking through. I always had my suspicion that Edward was Derek's father because they look so similar. But yes, hopefully in today's episode we'll figure out exactly what all happened. And here we just picked up a hyper potion. There are a couple characters here you can chat to along the way. But let's have a look. It looks like we have found a bridge. There's a fisherman here, and we might be close to the end of this little area. There's another bridge for us on the eastern side that we're going to cross over, and we'll see where we end up coming out of. There are a couple of trainers here to battle, but I am skipping them because this video will just go on forever if I have to showcase every single battle. But I want to leave all of that for you too. You don't want to watch the entire game. Some of the battles you've got to play yourself, so keep it interesting for you. Of course I will show all the main battles. But wow, here we've just encountered Raikou. So yes, this is probably the story of how Edward actually caught Raikou. So Lena is here. It looks like baby Lilith or the professor is here, and also Angie Stones. And Raikou is here in the wild. And it looks like Edward wants to battle it. So we might have to battle Raikou and see if we can defeat it. This is awesome. It looks really beautiful. And Raikou is such a strong Pokemon. It looks like Raikou tried to attack Queen Lena, but we blocked it and we got attacked in the process, so we are bleeding a little bit. But Edward is doing what he has to do to keep everybody safe. And now Edward tells Raikou to face him. we're going to finish this with a proper battle. Let's see how strong Raikou really is. Let's face Raikou and see if we can catch him. So Raikou is level 70. As you can see, its HP bar is super long. It's like double or triple a normal Pokemon's HP. But for some reason, the HP bar is all black. So I don't know if it's meant to be that way, or if there's some kind of bug or something that you can't really see its HP. Maybe there's an update where this will be rectified, or maybe it's just meant to be like that. I'm not 100% sure. But we'll just battle Raikou the best we can. We don't know how much damage we've done or anything, but we'll just continue smashing it and hopefully we can defeat it. And at least we get to try out some of Edward's really awesome Pokemon, like this Scissor, level 64. It looks like Edward's team is leveled quite high, so I think we will be able to defeat Raikou. It's not like Raikou is 20 or 30 levels above us. Most of Edward's team is at a similar level. But we also have some items that we can use that will help keep our team alive and strong. The Scissor seems to be doing a ton of damage, and Raikou finally smashed us with the discharge that knocked us out. But now we're going to send out Roserade, which is also level 64. So it looks like most of the Pokemon on Edward's team are at level 64. And we did it! We knocked out Raikou! So, can you believe it? It only took half of Edward's team to knock it out. So it wasn't all that strong in reality. But now that we've defeated it, hopefully we can catch it. Looks like Raikou wants to join Edward now after defeating it. It looks like everyone made it to the summit of the Floral Pass. We've made it to the Floral Peak. And it looks like Edward has made friends with Raikou now. So that tells us the story of how Edward actually got Raikou to join his team. And what a beautiful area it is. The peak is absolutely breathtaking. It looks like the sun is about to set. There's a whole bunch of Pokemon around. And some of Edward's Pokemon are resting, and Raikou is also resting there. And Angie Stones is even having a nap. It's just Edward and Lena here having a chat. And it's a really beautiful and romantic setting. And it's here where Lena tells Edward that she kind of likes him and wants to spend more time with him. It seems she's really happy together with Edward. And she also starts opening up about Henry, King Henry, who she's married to, and how unhappy she is. And she doesn't agree with all the methods that he has used. And she tells Edward to not look at her as the queen, but just to look at her as Lena, and not to worry about any of the other stuff, because they are really happy together. So that's really sweet. However, Edward is really worried because they are playing with fire, spending so much time together. Lena and Edward could really get in trouble moving forward. But it looks like they did spend time together almost every day, like a real family moving forward from this point. So they did get really close, although this is super dangerous because the royal family and King Henry are not to be underestimated. They are really strong. But here it looks like we've jumped to a scene where Angie Stones is playing at the bar. And we can see Edward and Lena enjoying themselves together. And now there's another cutscene where Lena is looking a little bit sad. And she actually wants to give Edward something. Okay, so she wasn't actually sad, she was just a bit shy. But she's given Edward a gift. And it looks like it is a hat that kind of matches hers. As you can see, Lena has that beautiful white hat on. So she wanted to give Edward a gift, and she gave him a nice black hat and she says he looks very attractive. So they're kind of suiting now. So that just shows that Lena really is starting to care for Edward. And Lena even asks if she can go back to Edward's house. And Edward is so shocked. He asks if she is unwell. And she just says, yes, something like that. But looks like Lena just wanted to go and spend some time with Edward at his house, if you know what I mean. But it looks like throughout all this time, there's been someone spying on Lena and Edward from the royal family. And here we've jumped back to a cutscene where Lena and Henry are discussing everything that's going on. So I'm not sure if Henry actually knows the full extent of what's going on, but he isn't happy that Queen Lena is always coming back late, and even their daughter, Professor Alama, she's also coming back late with Lena. So this is really upsetting him that they aren't around. They're always out and about, and then they're coming back late. It seems a little suspicious. And King Henry says that he wants to start keeping their daughter Lilith himself because he is scared he's going to lose her, and apparently she's really powerful. She's got some kind of link or connection to some legendary Pokemon. So King Edward has plans for his daughter to try use her almost like a weapon. But Queen Lena is not having any of it. And now we've skipped to a few months later, and it looks like Queen Lena is in hospital and she's about to give birth to a child. And here we can see baby Lilith, or Princess Alama, or Professor Alama. And Lena tells her that she's going to have a little brother. So wow, this is all moving so fast. And here we can actually see Lena tell Edward that she's pregnant. So it looks like this could be Edward's child. It's not King Henry's. She says that King Henry's DNA was not found in the test, so it's got to be Edward's. So this all makes sense. This is how Derek came about, I'm sure of it, because Queen Lena also spent a bit of time at Edward's house. Okay, but the baby was born, and here we see Queen Lena, Angie Stones, Edward with the baby, and the professor, little baby Lilith, is there too. And they all look so happy. They're like a family together. Everything is so perfect. And they're trying to decide on a name. And Edward says they're going to call the baby Derek. So yes, we were right. This is how Derek was born. And he says Derek has a meaning. It's a meaningful name. Derek actually means the protector of freedom, which is super fitting. So at least now we know for certain that Derek is Edward's son, and Queen Lena was Derek's mother. So we are piecing all the puzzle pieces together. You're finally deciphering and figuring out some more of the story. And here we are at a cutscene with King Henry, and one of his workers comes in and says there's a letter for him. And he says, it's just probably another letter from the citizens. But he goes and looks in the trash can, because he tells the assistant to throw it away. But he goes and looks in the trash can, and the letter is anonymous. And when he opens it, it says that his wife, Queen Lena, is cheating on him, and the baby's not him, and it's signed Amethyst on the inside. So King Henry did go and do a DNA test and found out that Derek is not his, which I'm sure was a complete shock. So she's found out that Queen Lena has been cheating. So I'm sure this is where everything goes south. And there's a big knock on the door. They smash through the door, and it's King Henry and his bodyguards. It looks like Commander Majima's there, and also his big muscle bodyguard dude. And it looks like King Henry wants to get rid of the baby. He says the baby is not his. How could Queen Lena mix the blood, their divine blood, with an outsider? And King Henry is really angry. He just wants to get rid of this baby. And Edward jumps ahead and tries to stop him. He says there's no way that they're going to touch the baby. And it looks like Edward gets smashed by the muscle bodybuilder dude. And it's not going to stop him though. But Commander Majim quickly uses her ninja skills to take Lena and the baby. She kind of teleports them away. And now Edward is going to try and fight back. It looks like he's going to battle William, the big bouncer muscle bodyguard. So let's see what this guy has. He's been a big part of the story, but I don't think we've battled him yet. I'm looking forward to battling him and actually see how strong he really is. He is famous for his Machamp there. It kind of looks like him in a way. So let's see how strong he is and what Pokemon are in his team. Edward versus William. I am guessing William is super strong as he is the king's personal bodyguard. His first Pokemon he has sent out is a level 65 Raikou. Wow, that is an awesome and strong Pokemon. Raikou is one of my favorite Pokemon actually, so it's quite surprising to see it. I love that they gave Rhydon another evolution. And it looks like he swaps out and he sends out a Beware now, level 65. So he is trying to swap around a bit. But as you can see, we do have Mega Evolution. We have Mega evolved our Gallade. And we one-shotted Beware. So that's awesome news. And we've got our whole team of 6 Pokemon still. We're going to swap out and send Lapras out now because he has sent out Pomelago. I don't think that name is correct. I think in English it's Great Tusks, which again is another awesome Pokemon. I don't know if it's Donphan's evolution or if it's just like a separate Pokemon kind of thing. Let me know in the comments if you guys know. But we send out Scizor who knocks it out. And the next Pokemon he's going to send out is his strongest Pokemon, Machamp. Machamp is level 67, so a little bit stronger than the rest of his Pokemon. But we've still got our secret weapon. We've got Raikou, which is level 70. It's super strong. We've sent out Roserade now that's knocked out Machamp. And it looks like William is going to send out Buzzwole. This is an Ultra Beast. He's even got an Ultra Beast. I thought our legendary Pokemon was going to give us the upper hand, but I had no idea he had an Ultra Beast Buzzwole. Out of all the Ultra Beasts, this is definitely my favorite one too. William has such a sick team, I won't even lie. And Buzzwole is such a fitting Pokemon. It's so jacked up and strong, just like William. But we knock out Buzzwole with our Mega Gallade. He sends out Rhyperior, which we also finish off. And the last Pokemon he's going to send out is Ferropamus. So I think this again is the Spanish name. I think in English this Pokemon is called Iron Hands or something. And it knocks out our Gallade, but we still got 2 Pokemon left. We're going to try and finish it off with Raikou. Hopefully our attack will do some decent damage. And yes, it looks like our Shadow Ball has knocked out William's final Pokemon. We have defeated him. I am surprised of how strong his team is. What a fun battle that was. So it looks like we have defeated William, but unfortunately the King and Commander Majim have kidnapped Lena and the baby. So Edward's going to try everything in his power to try and free them and get them back. But I have noticed the creator of the game is working endlessly. He's really been trying to update this game and put hours and hours in. But some of the translations lately haven't been done accurately. Some of them are still in Spanish. And as you saw when we battled Raikou, the HP bar didn't really show us its HP at all. And I have noticed if you're playing this game on Android through JoyPlay, there have been a few crashes and errors. So I think I'm just going to put out another 2 or 3 episodes and then put Unbreakable Ties on ice just until another update comes out where all these little problems and glitches have been fixed and ironed out. But other than that, the game is still amazing and one of my favorite games. So it looks like the King Henry has caught Queen Lena and actually wants to kill the baby, but she says no, leave the baby alone, rather kill me. And now Edward has tried to come to stop him. He's heard about this execution where he's gonna try and kill Queen Lena for her betrayal. And now Edward is going to actually fight King Henry, and this is going to be the ultimate battle. Apparently King Henry is super strong, so we're going to see how Edward does. And apparently the fight lasted several hours, but ultimately Edward did lose, and that's how Edward got locked up, and he was kept in the royal palace prison. This is because he lost against King Henry. So we really have come full circle. Finally, we have discovered what really happened and how the story unfolded. Today's episode was really useful. We can really understand how everything happened and how it all came about. All that I know for certain now is that we must stop King Henry no matter what. And now it looks like it's jumped to the actual execution of Queen Lena. I wonder if he's actually going to follow through with this. Is he actually going to execute his wife because she had another baby with another person? I don't know if King Henry would actually be willing to do this, but he tells Queen Lena that if she has any last words, she must say it now. And she says how happy she has been since she met Edward, and she loves Edward and her son and daughter so much. And King Henry orders Bishop to execute her and chop her head off. Unfortunately, he rarely went through with it, and Queen Lena did pass away. So wow, what a sad story. Everybody in the room cannot believe what they heard, and at least everyone is on the same page now, that everyone agrees that they must try and stop King Henry. He is an absolute menace, that he can actually execute his own wife. But it looks like now we are trying to figure out a plan. Everyone's trying to discuss what they can do to actually try and free Derek and Princess Alama. But now we've woken up in our room again, and we're a bit confused. We don't know what happened, but we're going to continue with the story in the next one. So this has been jam-packed, but thanks for watching. This is all it's going to be.